Alright guys, so it's a very brisk morning today. It is around, I want to say it's around 8 degrees, and it feels very cold for some reason. 8 degrees is usually alright, but today it is feeling very cold. For today's topic, Chinese 125cc bikes. What's your thoughts on Chinese 125cc bikes? Obviously, again, this is a topic for everyone's always got an opinion on, and it's the reason why I want to obviously talk about it. I want to know what people's thoughts are on them. Are they still the same quality what they used to be? Are they better? And obviously, in my time I've had a fair few Chinese 125s. I've had the good, the bad, and the great. So yeah, I just wanted to know like what are people's thoughts. Obviously there's different brands out there. Like, I'll be honest with you, this is a Zontes G1 125cc. It's a Chinese bike, but the build quality of it is absolutely brilliant. And so far the reliability, the easiness of how to service it and everything is just spot on. It starts first time, it's done a good job. Granted, saying that, I don't ride the bike in the rain. I used to ride my bikes in the rain, but now, as I've obviously got older and I've got a car, I don't want to ride my bike in the rain. That's not what I want it for. Like, I know people like, oh, you're a fair season rider and stuff like that. Too right, like, I've been there and done it. Like, I've spent 10 years driving motorbikes before, like driving 125s. And I've drove through, like, every single day I used to ride a motorbike. I rode through, like, countless days of rain, snow. Literally, I've drove to work before my highest on GTR 125, so like the sports bike version, in snow. I forgot what storm it were now, but it was like a really famous storm we had years ago. I think it was like Beast from the East or something we had, and it was absolutely horrible, like a foot of snow on the floor, and I still had to get to work, and the only means of transport at the time was the 125, and it did spot on. So yeah, I only drive this in the sunshine or when it's dry now, which is what I choose to do. I've got a car for when it rains. But back to the topic, 125s with Chinese 125s. So far this has been an absolutely brilliant bike, and to be fair, it's probably the best Chinese 125 bike I've actually had. Now, saying that, I have had a shit one before. The first Chinese 125 bike I had was a scooter, but it was the Simjet 50cc, and the carburettor on that, they basically has to lay like your throttle plates, and in winter time they used to freeze, like the lines in there would freeze open, like the throttle would freeze open. It's ridiculous, but you basically get water in the throttle plates and the throttle cable, and the waters are, I don't know how it would basically happen, but it used to freeze open, and next minute your throttle were on full. Obviously on a 50cc it's not a lot, but when you're 16 at the time and you're trying to commute to work and next minute your throttle goes on full, and that's it, not good. But that's the only problem I really had with that one, which I say only problem, it's a big problem. Probably could have fixed it, but that was a problem that I had with that. The second one that I had a problem with again was the Sim, which was the Sim XS125, which used to be again like a copy of a YBR, and the only problem I really had with that was the gearbox. The fifth gear, I believe it was, just completely shut itself. Couldn't go into fifth gear anymore. But again, that was the only problem. I know it's quite a big problem in gearbox going, but I know a lot of people say that they've had obviously wiring problems, electrical problems and all that type of stuff, and it used to be very, very well known that the Chinese bikes were really low quality materials, really low quality wiring. There just weren't enough like quality and build into the bike. But has time changed? For me, when you look at this bike now compared to the old Chinese bikes, the quality of this bike and the quality of parts used, the engine, the power of it, the reliability of it, it matches Japanese bikes, if not better than some Japanese bikes out there, some Yamahas and some Hondas. It's better than some of them. And I know it's going to cause controversy, but that's the whole point. But in my opinion, I do think that the build quality of this is better than some main name brands. Now, the big one out there, which I think everyone has a problem with, especially on TikTok, is the Lexmoto. Everyone absolutely slates the Lexmoto LXR, which I don't understand, because I actually really like the bike, to the point where someone's offered me a Lexmoto LXR 125 SE, the one where it's black and red carbon fibre, and I really, really like it. And I know that I've obviously gone for an upright bike on this one, but there's nothing stopping me from getting a sports bike. I know, like, I've obviously got this because of my back and stuff, but the amount of time that I actually ride this bike, a sports bike wouldn't be an issue for me still. So I'm not on it for hours and hours and hours, I'm not on it every single day. It's just the odd time that I'm on my bike. So it's not like a massive thing to say that I won't go on it, because I possibly would, to be fair. I tell you what is a problem though, my heater grips have stopped working. And that ain't a Chinese product. My heater grips stopped working, but the bike's working. I was wondering why my hands are a bit cold. Well, why's that happened? But anyway, so yeah, there's like, everyone hates the Lexmoto LXR, which I don't understand. I want to know people's reasons for it. I know that there was a common problem with the older generation ones, where basically where you've got your spark plug and your HG lead, you've got your spark plug cap basically, and there's not enough of a gasket or enough of a seal around it, so when the water flicks up, it goes straight on top of the cylinder head. And straight into where basically the spark plug your housing is. And because there's not enough gasket, water gets in there, it goes down past the spark plug, and then it causes the bike not to start up. And there is a better HG lead, there's a better top you can get, which stops that from happening, stops the water ingress. And then, as far as I know, there's no problems with the bike after that. Now, everyone slates the bike and says it's because it's Lexmoto. That, yeah, it's a shit design, that part, but I believe in the new model they've changed it. But also, I've had that problem on other bikes. Like, one of my friends who had the Yamaha R125 had this similar type of thing, and he had to get a new HG lead with a better cover, like a better gasket around it, basically, a better seal. So it's not an uncommon thing. Like, so is it just because it's happened, and then obviously like, it's a Chinese thing, and it's obviously everyone just knows Chinese bikes and like, oh, it's a Chinese bike, it's bad, it's really bad quality. Like, is it a bad bike? Is it not? I'm very interested to know what people think of it, because I think the styling of it is really good, and I like the look of the bike, I like the size of the bike. It's a full-size bike, and like I said, I'm very tempted to have a look at one and test drive one and have a look and try it out, because it's possibly, if there was ever a bike I would obviously swap for this, it would be the LXR from the looks of it, because I do like the style of it. But I'm interested to know what are people's thoughts. Is it just because it's got a rep? Is it just because Chinese bikes have got a rep that people are just straight away on it saying, oh, it's a crap bike? Or is there actually reasons for it? Is there a lot of other issues? Because so far, I've not heard of any other issues. I've not heard of build quality. I've not heard of any issues with other electrics. Every single problem seems to just be that starter cap, that basically, like I said, the spark plug cap. So if anyone's got a Lexmoto LXR, let me know in the comments below. What's your experience with it? What's your thoughts on it? Have you had any other problems? If you haven't got one, why is it that the bike gets so much hate? Because I'll be honest with you, one of the best 125s I actually had was the Lexmoto Adrenaline 125. And is it Lexmoto Adrenaline? Lexmoto Pulse Adrenaline, but it was a Lexmoto version. One of the best bikes I had. Little 125 Supermoto, great bike. You should drive it every single day in the rain and everything. Were absolutely brilliant. The only issue I had once was that the carb flooded. And that's because the previous person before me had just tried to tune the carb and completely messed it up. Which I literally stripped that bike down in my living room and redid the main jet, the pilot jet, and managed to get all the, basically unflood it and sort it all out. And I never had any issues with that bike. It was actually a really, really good bike. Like, the reliability, it didn't rust. I looked after the bike, kept the top of servicing, and it was a really good bike. So my previous experience with Lexmoto has actually been quite good. So yeah, what is it about the Lexmotos and what is it about Chinese 125s that people hate and say, well, they're rubbish? Because I just don't think the Chinese bikes are what they used to be. And that's coming from experience of riding them over time, riding them through all conditions. So far, my experience now seems to be that the Chinese 125s are getting better. The build quality matches the main name brands, especially the Japanese brands. And again, like I've said before, you'd be surprised to know that a lot of bikes now. Why is this trying to get me on motorway when I thought not to on a 125? A lot of bikes now of the main name brands are built in the same factories as the Chinese 125s, which tells you a lot. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, what your thought of Chinese 125 bikes? Are they the same as they used to be? I don't think they are, and especially the Lexmoto LXR. Like, obviously there's the LXR 125, the older version, and then there's the new one, the 125 SE. I'm interested to know what people's thoughts are. Like, is there a difference? Have they made things better? If they have made things better, what was wrong with the old one? Is it purely just because of the spark plug problem with the HU lead, or is there any other issues with it? Let me know in the comments. I'm very interested to know what people's thoughts are and people's experiences with them as well. Like, obviously there's going to have people that are just going to slate them, slate them no matter what, and have never owned a Chinese bike. So I am interested to know what your thoughts are. Let me know, guys.